This may be the only time a celebrity chart will span over 2 days, because Marvin Gaye's Punya, or death chart, of 2nd of April was 1 day before his 45th birthday. To fans, he was the king of Motown, with tens of millions of sales covering 4 octaves through R&B, soul, through baritone, tenor and falsetto.
Berry Gordy's Motown Records was already one of the most influential.
But how can astrology tell us how he achieved to sign for a record $7.5 million when converting 1971 money to now? What planetary configurations are possible?
To have that type of exposure.
With his harrowing death certificate, multiple documentaries of interviewed family, and a close Ritz biographer, Rodnan classification easily gives him an A for accurate information, as well as the lives that intertwined with him.
We couldn't start fights, and there was no cussing.
Jarred in heaven.
But here's where the strength grew.
Thy will be done.
We knew something that everybody else was laughing at.
Can we see turmoil under his abusive father, who said he brought him into this world and will take him back out? Can we see his addiction to cocaine and periods of rehabilitation? Tragically, his own Baptist minister father, under the erratic effects of a brain tumor but talented use of a new gun, fatally shot his son through the heart, lung, shoulder and liver.
He got a whipping, or punishment. But basically, I think he got whipped more.
Close to his mother, he had a tendency to listen to an older woman.
Marvin and Anna married in 1961.
Yeah! Say yeah, yeah. Honey, you do me wrong, but still.
Do Marvin's empty houses 3, 5, 7, 11 and 12, ruled by Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, Taurus and Gemini, actually matter? By this time he sold millions twice. Can astrology show his talents and influence of his bearings?
Drummer, he wanted to be a writer.
It takes two, baby. Ain't no mountain high enough. With some other guy.
Over 5 million copies. The best-selling single in Motown.
In 1968, his friend Tammy Terrell, in October, collapsed in his arms, eventually dying March 16, 1970. It knocked him out for 6, but is it in the stars?
She just collapsed on stage.
She was diagnosed with a brain tumor.
After Tammy's demise, Marvin didn't sing for 3 years. It's almost like his guardian angel.
1971, What's Going On? Sold 2 million. Many times Marvin put his foot down. He will not be walked over, withholding new songs until he gets what is righteous. His political songs to be played, his pirating managers to defer contract, and his IRS problems to go away. Does this chart show this courage and obstinacy for justice?
And Marvin said, well, if you don't put this out, I'm never recording anything else for you again.
From pop star to social thinker.
I've been really trying, baby.
At peak, he made today's equivalent of $618,000 per night, but by 1980, he owed the IRS an equivalent of $17 million. So, can we see these ups and downs? Note the red grahas, Neptune, Pluto and Mercury as retrograde.
Let's get it.
We're all sensitive people. To inspire alcoholics and drug addicts, if you want to take her out, you're going to have to go and ask her mother.
High flying and literally, to bankruptcy and depravity. Notice Pluto in Cancer as his ascendant's first house, and Pisces ruling the 9th house and his largest planetary cluster, Saturn, Sun, and that Mercury retrograde. But how to protect from the downs?
The cocaine was making him sweat, he was getting disorientated.
And increasing drug use had led Anna to sue for divorce.
When you're recording double albums just to make alimony payments, gee.
People were stealing him blind, just blind.
Bankrupt.
Playing in front of Princess Margaret.
The glittery event, you are not going to do fingers up at royalty, you will do it.
January 15th, 1981, after his stolen remix master record, rehabilitating on Valentine's Day, a new manager, IRS issues, seems to have vanished. But
His publicists keeping him away from bad influences.
I told him there will not be all this kind of nightlife.
Visiting churches.
My next fight's gonna be my wife. 15 rounds.
The rhythm of the waves.
The waves are rising and rising.
with Neptune in Leo, Rahu in Libra, Mars in Sagittarius, Venus and Jupiter in Aquarius, Uranus and Ketu in Aries.
2 dates into the American tour, Marvin collapsed on stage. He became paranoid. Marvin carried a gun.
He told me he was surrounded by evil.
Patched him up, put him back together again, and he finished the tour.
On the 1st of April 1984...
I mean, if you touch me, I'll shoot you.
Gun to be delivered to his father in Los Angeles. I brought you into the world, and I can take you out.
Saw the blood pumping out of the wound by Marvin's heart. So the paramedics waited half an hour.
Whose drug-ridden death at the hands of his own father was a tragic...
What can you tell us in relation to astrology? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe and you'll be surprised with what you can learn.
I'm sorry, there's something I regret.
It's Marvin Gaye. Hi, Marvin.
Continuing from yesterday's video of 6 celebrities and their padas, it's now the 4th of April, the death day anniversary of both Gloria Swanson, who lived a good 84 years, the silent movie star, and Martin Luther King Jr., a civil rights leader.
I still have a dream.
Gloria, despite being born in the late 1800s and Swedish father, still became a diva towards Charlie Chaplin, a mistress to President's father of JFK, but double walk of fame for both movie and television. So many lost films, the charts and patterns of both, as explained in yesterday's video. Notice how busy Martin's air pada is.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
And how busy Gloria's water pada is. When Martin's Navamsa is run through the AstroCore software, notice the colourful addition of introducing the Natabara Yantra, reaching what the nakshatras can't, by showing the Tarabalas with planets in rows for the present life, future life, and previous life. Comment in order to sway what you want to learn about it in future videos. See Gloria's complications in Waterpada, 5 grahas plus her lagna. That's 6 of all 13 elements crushed in her emotional pada. Martin's single graha is more expressive with his emotions.
Nobody can follow that.
Silent film versus the best speech.
The best speech I've ever heard in my entire life.
Note 3 signs in one pada means that when a planet transits in one pada, the other 2 padas are affected. The following is a 30-second eulogy and friend's witness testimony of Martin's friend, Reverend Samuel Billy Kiles.
Martin Luther King, PhD at 28, Nobel Peace Prize at 34, the youngest at that time to get one. And they said, we will shoot this dreamer and see what happens to his dream. Martin Luther King was leaning over the railing, and the shot rang out, hit him in the side of his face. So much blood. It's pointing to the building where the shot came from. Crucifixions have to have witnesses. You cannot kill the dream.
Parasara mentioned only their subconscious level, but we can investigate beyond this. I'm going for runs of daily weekday videos despite 528 subscribers. So comment which celebrity do you want to see from your region. If can couple with a bona fide time and place of birth, then we can showcase it. Notice Swanson, whose father's name was a Swedish Svensson, will precede the 5th of April death anniversary of another Swede, Agnetha Balskog of ABBA's pop group. She, however, was a suicide sufferer, sharing the suicide day of American Kurt Cobain of Nirvana grunge group, but likely uploadable this weekend. See you soon.
Then one day Srila Prabhupada was talking on astrology. Then Wolf said, if Srila Prabhupada said, then you believe. And if it's not said by Srila Prabhupada, you don't believe.
No, we believe in astrology. But because it is a difficult science, people do not understand it properly. That is another thing. In my practical life, I see, in my horoscope, everything is written, what I am doing. Everything is written. So, no, this astrologer can give everyone exact the history of life, what is going to happen, what happened. Therefore, we follow the astrology according to the constellation. The child born, everything has connection. The constellation of the star has influence on the child. So therefore, the horoscope maker take the calculation of the constellation and then calculate what is his future.